Hello everyone. We are here to see one of the geography related question asked this year in mains 2022 UPSC. Okay, in GS1. So this question is related to the distribution of rubber producing countries. Okay, rubber producing countries. Now, rubber producing countries and the environmental issues which are impacting the rubber producing countries. Now, the important thing to understand is what are the rubber producing countries and why the geographic location of these rubber producing countries are there. Okay, what are the significant factors which led to these countries produce predominantly the rubber? So, to answer this question, we need to understand rubber as a crop. Now the rubber crop requires more than 200 centimeter of rainfall. Okay. Secondly, it also requires more than 25 degrees Celsius of temperature. The climate should be humid and moist. The soil should be alluvial. Okay. So all these factors predominantly decides the location of rubber as a crop, as a commercial crop. Now all these situations are present only in the equatorial belt. So let me draw the world map here for your reference, and in the actual exam also you have to show them that where these rubber producing countries are located. Okay, so when you draw the world map, no need that it should be precisely like made, but if even if you make it a rough diagram, that is also sufficient. Okay, I'm drawing India, then Southeast Asia, then China here, and Britain and all. Then this is Australia and this is New Zealand. Okay, now you all know that this is the tropic, this is the equatorial belt. Okay, the line indicates 0 degree equator. Okay, and we know that equator is where we have great insolation, high insolation, and due to high insolation, what happens? Evaporation is more and everyday rainfall in this region. So this region receives much of the rainfall. Region on this line, 0 degree line, receives much of the rainfall. Even here we have Andaman and Nicobar Island, okay, near to the equator. They also get much of the rainfall. Now these are the Southeast Asian countries. Here Philippines, okay. So all these islands, Borneo and all, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore. So all these countries are located here on the equator. Now here we have, so over the equator, which type of forests are there? These are equatorial rainforests. Rainforest. These are evergreen forests. Okay, and in these evergreen forests, we find the rubber as a natural plant. Okay, and now it is domesticated, and uh, we are having the plantation. It as a plantation crop, and it is an industrial raw material for tire industry and many more industrial products. Okay, so the first part of the question is which are the countries which produce the rubber. So you can tell all these countries located on the equator or equatorial region. For example, Brazil is one of the producer. Most of the production of the rubber comes from Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia. 70% of the world's rubber production comes from here. And in Southeast Asia, what are the countries? First is Thailand. Thailand is the largest producer. Then we have Malaysia, Indonesia, then China. Okay, China is fourth, and India is fifth. India is fifth largest producer of natural rubber. But the issue with India is second largest consumer of the natural rubber, but our production is not enough for our domestic consumption, and that's why we import around 40% of our requirements of natural rubber. Okay, so the first part of the question that we have answered, that which are the countries which produce the rubber. By the way, here in Africa there is a Central African regions like Congo. Okay, we have Congo, dense forests, equatorial rainforests. Okay, along with this there is a Ivory Coast, which is also one of the major producer of the rubber. Now the part of the question, second part of the question is, what are the environmental issues faced by these countries? Now this is the recurring theme in geography: development versus environment. Development versus environment. Now for economic development, agricultural development, we are moving towards the plantation crops. Plantation crops are cash crops. Okay, but because of them the environmental degradation is happening. So what are the environmental impact? The first and foremost is rampant deforestation. Rampant deforestation. We have seen the news that the Brazilian rainforests are engulfed in fire. Okay, they are declining at rapid pace. Even in the Southeast Asian countries, these forests are cut down and the plantation crops are taken at their place. Because of deforestation, the impact is on biodiversity. Biodiversity. To give an example, there is a charismatic mammal in Southeast Asia. It is called as a Borneo orangutan. Orangutan. Okay, Bornean orangutan. Now this Bornean orangutan is now critically endangered. It's critically endangered means its species is now on the verge of extinction. Now why it has happened? It has happened because of rampant deforestation and loss of the pristine forests which was the home of this Bornean orangutan. So the third impact is again on the pollution, as deforestation has led to increased pollution. Then the subsequent things are climate change, right? Climate change and many other issues like disasters. Okay, untimely rainfall, we have cyclones, heat waves. So all these environmental impacts are happening because of the rubber plant, not just rubber plantation, but the deforestation across the world, and the rubber plantation is one of the factor. So we have to write this question in such a details. We have to draw the diagrams, we have to give lot of examples to substantiate our answer. Now, the same question could be asked in the prelims also, and it has been asked in 2019. The question was, what are the crops which has been domesticated from the new world, that is Americas, to the old world? Old world is Asia, Africa. So the crops are tobacco, cocoa, and rubber. So rubber is one of the plant which has been brought to Southeast Asia, Africa, even India from South America. So we have to study this geography with current related issues, because now UPSC has combined, and it has been the recurring trend that not just fully static but some dynamic part is combined with the question in the question, and we have to provide the holistic solutions to these problems too, and UPSC asks such questions. So thank you for watching.